Hello students, welcome back. Now in today's lecture we are going to start the new chapter, which is chapter 2, A Gift of Chappals. This is a very interesting story about the generosity and innocence of a few children, a few cousins. So let us see what is happening in this chapter. See, first let us have an introduction of the characters of this story. First we have Mridu. Mridu is a young girl growing up in Madras, which is now called Chennai, growing up in Madras with Tapi, her grandmother, and Thatha, her grandfather. So this is the story of Mridu and her cousins. Her cousins were Lali, Ravi and Meena. Okay. So in this chapter we are going to see that what these children do in order to help a poor beggar. Okay. And you will also see during this chapter that these children are very kind at heart, because they not only help a poor beggar, but they also take a cat, a roadside cat, as their pet, and they feed them regularly. Now how all this happens, we will see during this chapter. Mridu is a young girl growing up in Madras, now called Chennai, with Tapi, her grandmother, and Thatha, her grandfather. One afternoon, Tapi takes her to her aunt Rukumani's house to meet her cousins Lali, Ravi and Meena. So one day Mridu's grandmother takes her to her Rukumani's aunt, Rukumani's house to meet her cousins. Who are the cousins? Lali, Ravi and Meena. Who are these three? They are the cousins of Mridu. A smiling Rukumani threw open the door. Ravi and Meena rushed out and Ravi pulled Mridu into the house. So, a smiling Rukumani threw open. Now, threw open is a phrase. It does not mean to throw something. Threw open means to open the door. Smiling Rukumani opened the door. And whenever you go to your relative's place, especially your aunt's or uncle's place, your cousins come running to you, right? You are so excited to always meet your cousins and relatives and everyone, right? So, when Rukumani opened the door, Ravi and Meena rushed out, ran outside, and Ravi pulled Mridu into the house. Ravi held her hand and pulled her into the house. Wait, let me take off my slippers, protested Mridu. So, Mridu said that let me take off my slippers. Take off means remove. She set them out near a pair of large black ones. So, she removed her slippers and kept them near a large pair of slippers, large black pair of slippers. Those were grey, actually with dust. Now, the original color was black, but it had turned grey because it had been used so much, there was so much dust on that. You could see the clear mark of every toe on the front part of the slipper. Toe means the fingers of the legs are called toes. So, you could clearly see the impressions of those toes on the front part of the slippers. The marks for the two big toes were long and scrawny. Scrawny means very thin and bony. So, the marks were very thin. So, obviously these slippers belonged to someone who was very thin. Mridu didn't have much time to wonder about whose slippers they were, because Ravi dragged means pulled her into the backyard behind a thick bitterberry bush. So, she did not have much time to think that whose these chappals were. Why? Because Ravi started pulling her into the backyard of the house and he took her behind a thick bitterberry bush. There, inside a torn football lined with sacking and filled with sand, lay a very small kitten lapping up milk from a coconut half shelf. So, what did she see over there? That in a torn football, there was a torn football which was in the shape of a seat. So, in that football a cat was sitting lined with sacking. At that football, the torn football had lining of sacks. You know what is sacks? Jute sacks. Yes, so the lining was of those sacks filled with sand, and in that football sand was filled, and on that a cat was sitting. There was a small kitten. What is the kitten? The young one of a cat is called a kitten. So, lay a very small kitten lapping up means drinking, lapping up milk from a half coconut shelf. There was a half coconut shell, and in that how does half coconut shell look like? It looks like a bowl. So, in that bowl there was some milk, and the kitten was drinking milk from that coconut shell. We found him outside the gate this morning. He was mewing and mewing. Poor thing, said Meena. So Meena said that we found this kitten outside our gate and it was mewing and mewing. What is the meaning of mewing? Mewing is the sound made by a cat. It's a secret. Amma says, Pati. Pati means their grandmother. Pati will leave for our Paddu Mama's house if she knows we have a cat. So she says quietly that it is a secret. Don't tell anyone. If Amma says that if Pati comes to know, she will go away to Paddu Mama's house because she does not like to have pets in the house. So she should never find out that we have a cat in the house. People are always telling us to be kind to animals, but when we are, they scream. Oh, don't bring that dirty creature here, said Ravi. So Ravi said that everyone, our teachers, our elders, everyone tells us to be kind to animals. But when we try to be kind to them, when we bring them inside our homes, they scream. And what do they say? They say that, oh, don't bring that dirty creature over here. Right? Do you know how hard it is to just get a little milk from the kitchen? Pati saw me with a glass in my hand just now. I told her I am very hungry. I want to drink it. But the way she looked at me, I had to drink most of it to throw her off the scent. So he said that do you know how difficult it is to even get a glass of milk for this poor cat? Today when I went into the kitchen to get a glass of milk, Pati saw me and I had to lie. And what did Ravi say? He said that I am very hungry and I want to drink this milk. But she was looking very strictly to me, to Ravi. So he had to drink half of that milk so that she does not doubt him. So half of the milk he had to drink. Then she wanted the tumbler back. Tumbler means the glass. So once he had drank the milk, Pati wanted the tumbler back. Pati, I will wash it myself. Why should I put you to trouble? I told her. So when she wanted the glass back, I said that no, you don't take trouble. I will wash it and put it back. I had to run and pour the milk into this coconut shell and then run back, wash the tumbler and put it back before she got really suspicious. Now we have to think of some other way to feed Mahendran. So he says that I had to run to the backyard, pour the milk in the coconut shell, go back to the kitchen, wash the tumbler and put it back before she had any more doubts. So now he says that now I have to find some other way to feed, means to give food to Mahendran. Now students, who is Mahendran? This we will find out in our next lecture. Till then, bye bye.